to Just Asia, AHRC TV's weekly human rights program. AHRC TV is pleased to announce the launch of Just Asia's new website, where all episodes of the weekly TV program can be viewed. www.alrc.asia/justasia. The headlines for this week are: Civilian President elected in Burma. Candidate selection underway for Aceh's Truth and Reconciliation Commission. UPR process needs to rethink Nepal's justice institution. No justice for human rights defenders in Thailand. Malnutrition related to deaths in far Pakistan. 3 urgent appeals from Indonesia and Pakistan. Welcome to AHRC TV's Just Asia. I am Julia Reblondo. Burma's parliament elected a civilian president on March 15th after decades of military government. Htin Kyaw, son of prominent writer and poet Min Thu Won and son-in-law of one of the founders of NLD Party, will become the country's 9th president. Htin Kyaw is a longtime confidant of Aung San Suu Kyi. Htin Kyaw's wife is a current member of the lower house of parliament and chairperson of the Pitu Lutho International Relations Committee. Nobel Peace Laureate Aung San Suu Kyi is prevented from becoming president by the constitutional clause barring anyone who has a foreign spouse or children. Her late husband is British and 2 sons are holding British passports. The former political prisoner has said she will be above the president. Meanwhile, Burma's first vice president will be military nominee, former Lieutenant General Min Sue. The second vice president will be Henry Van Tho of the NLD Party, an ethnic Chin representative, and a member of a parliament. Turning to Nepal, the country underwent its second Universal Periodic Review cycle in November last year. The review outcomes were discussed this week on Wednesday at the 31st session of the Human Rights Council. Noting that Nepal has rejected 29 human rights recommendations made during the 23rd Universal Periodic Review, the Asian Legal Resource Center concluded that this en masse rejection shows Nepal's stated commitment to the protection of human rights to be a lie. While Nepal argues that its constitution is a landmark effort to end caste discrimination and untouchability, the constitutional guarantee of rights depends on laws to be formulated within the next 3 years. According to a human rights group, laws are only a mirage in a dysfunctional justice system. Likewise, without robust criminal justice institutional mechanisms and modern policing, there is no hope for the transitional justice process to reach its logical conclusion. Until the High Commissioner and other delegates in the UPR address the rethinking and redesigning of justice institution in Nepal, victims of police torture, conflict, violence, and caste-based discrimination are never going to get justice. In Indonesia, commissioners are currently being selected for the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, established in accordance with the Helsinki 2005 peace agreement between the Indonesian government and the Free Aceh movement. A human rights court is also mandated under the peace accord, but no clear information is available regarding its establishment. In fact, little progress has been made by the local Achenese government to solve the human rights abuses that occurred under Indonesia's military operation from 1989 to 2003. Meanwhile, the National Commission on Human Rights recently issued a report concerning gross human rights violations in Aceh under the military operation, recommending the Attorney General to investigate further. Just Asia speaks to Muhammad Daud Beureuh, a human rights lawyer and candidate for the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, to learn more.
Hari ini di Aceh sedang teman-teman di tingkat nasional dan juga di Aceh sedang merumuskan advokasi bersama untuk mendorong seleksi pencalonan Komisi Kebenaran dan Rekonsiliasi. Nah, KKR ini yang memang sudah diharapkan oleh masyarakat korban di Aceh. Dari tahun 2020 proses legislasi di DPR Aceh, baru kemudian disahkan di tahun 2013 dan hari ini sudah melakukan satu proses penjaringan terhadap seleksi komisioner KHRC. Jadi harapan masyarakat sipil di Aceh dengan adanya seleksi komisioner KHRC tentunya bisa mengungkap fakta kebenaran yang sebenarnya terjadi di Aceh.
Next, Just Asia learns of persistent impunity in human rights murder cases in Thailand. 1 year after the assassination of Thai human rights defender Mr. Chai Bonthullek, the Yansara Provincial Court acquitted the motorcyclist involved in his murder. Mr. Bonthullek was a land rights defender of Klongsai Patana community, southern Thailand. On February 11, 2015, Mr. Bonthullek was murdered by gunmen outside his community. The Yansara public prosecutor filed a charge only against the motorcyclist involved in the shooting. Now that the defendant has been acquitted on Tuesday, 15 March 2016, no one is held accountable for Mr. Bonthullek's murder. Additionally, 3 other activists have been killed since 2010, Monta Chuke and Prani Bonrat in 2012, and Somporn Patanapum in 2010. No one has been prosecuted for any of these killings, reportedly due to insufficient evidence. Moving to Pakistan, more than 220 children have died in Thar district, Sindh province, over the past 2.5 months. Dozens of children suffering from various diseases caused by malnutrition are being treated in various hospitals of Thar. Despite print, electronic, and foreign media all reporting the child death statistics, the government continues to deny the figures. The provincial food minister attributed the sudden rise in child death due to lack of awareness about handling newborns and mothers' delayed arrival at medical facilities. Similarly, 2 ministers visiting the area blamed the deaths on underage marriages and the carelessness of mothers. For many years, the Thar-Pakar region has had persistently high rates of acute malnutrition exceeding emergency thresholds. Rates of severe acute malnutrition are particularly high, with Pakistan second only to India in contributing to the global burden of SAM. The majority of SAM cases are under 24 months old. For the past 2 years, the Thar-Pakar district is facing serious drought. Low rainfall in 2013 to 2014 and its impact on food stocks and livestock, together with poor sanitation and hygiene, limited availability of clean drinking water, limited access to healthcare services, have all aggravated the nutritional situation further. The government has done little to improve health facilities. No efforts have been made to fill the 134 vacancies for doctors in Thar district. Only 298 doctors are available, which includes child specialists and female doctors. Over 215 dispensaries remain non-functional in remote villages. Finally, the Urgent Appeals Weekly features 3 cases from Indonesia and Pakistan. Indonesia's Attorney General's office has decided to stop prosecution against a senior Corruption Eradication Commission investigator, Mr. Novel Baswedan, and 2 others in fabricated case after intense pressure and lobbying from civil society. Meanwhile, judges of Indonesia's Muara Sinjunjung District Court have refused the case of restitution submitted by a mother of 2 minors who were tortured to death by the police. In Pakistan, several activists of a proscribed nationalist group, Jaya Singh Muttada Mahaz, from Sindh province have been disappeared. The activists were taken into custody by Pakistan Rangers and police in front of dozens of onlookers. Pakistan is facing a grave situation with law enforcement agencies given absolute powers to arrest, conduct and counter killings, shoot at sight, and disappear persons at will. That is all for this episode of Just Asia. For more on these and other issues, please visit www.humanrights.asia or www.alrc.asia/justasia. Thank you for watching and see you next week.